I wanted to talk about what makes a good audit and what to expect. And so one of the things an auditor will do as they're walking through the building to start with is to look for hazards that might exist and to alert the building owner about things. Like number one, gas leaks. Mm-hmm. One of the very first things that auditors do is look for fuel leaking into the building. And there's natural gas that leaks. There's also people that burn oil, frequently have oil leaks under their tanks that they're not aware of.
Yes.
And in some cases, people with gas-fired hot water heaters will put cardboard boxes around the hot water heater. Sometimes people will bring lawnmowers inside. They'll keep gas tanks in their basement. There might be open cans of paint. So pesticides, all these different types of things an auditor will look for and alert the homeowner if they don't already know, or remind them, hey, it's not such a great idea that you have diazinon in an open container, your Rose, pest killer open on the staircase on the way to the basement. So that's the first thing that an auditor would look for. And then it's sort of the second thing that you would do is, as you're way down to the combustion appliance zone, getting ready to test the heating equipment, look for things like asbestos or mold or moisture, foundation leaks, on your way down to testing the heating system equipment.
I'm doing the mental checklist in my head for
Right.
what my auditor did. He told us about an oil leak and he looked for mold,
Yeah, so
dampness. And
as you're going through this 2-hour process, you go down to the heating system and perform what's called combustion analysis tests. So you test the heating equipment for basically 3 tests, which would be CO levels, spillage, and draft. And the auditor would do these tests and then inform the homeowner about any hazards that might be present in the operation of the equipment. And then after the auditor assesses that, then if there's the right conditions, then the auditor would probably start on performing a blower door test. Now, if there was things present like mold or asbestos, if there was asbestos present, the auditor wouldn't perform a blower door test and run the risk of stirring up any asbestos and blowing it around the house.
right, because asbestos is mainly dangerous when it's in the air, when it's disturbed, right?
That's right. If it's intact and not in a friable state, then it's not necessarily posing a threat. So the auditor would then perform like a sort of a visual checklist of, are there any air sealing opportunities? And even without a blower door test number, you can make assessments on air infiltration up in the attic or in the basement. You would proceed after the blower door test or not onto making an assessment about the insulation levels in the building, and could you make any recommendations? And so we'd start up in the attic and work our way through the walls and then down to the basement in order to make recommendations. And frequently we would make recommendations to add insulation.